guys, welcome back to the Talking Lead podcast. This is episode 214. We appreciate you guys tuning in for another week of the show. Hope you guys were able to catch last week's episode where our guest was Jeremy Smith. He's the president and CEO of Smith & Bradley Watches. They have an awesome line. They've got a tactical watch, tactical dive watch that I've been wearing for about a month now, and I absolutely love it. Haven't worn a watch in I don't know how long, but when he showed me this watch, I had to have it. So I've been rocking the Evolution. This is the Sands 13 Stainless Evolution. And it's feature-rich, rugged, durable. Like I said, a dive watch if you're a diver. It's rated for up to, I believe, 200 meters. It's got a flat sapphire crystal with the anti-reflective coating glass over it. And then those looms that are inside that thing, it just glows at nighttime, so it's very easily seen in the dark. But that was a great interview with Jeremy, a former SWAT guy. He tells us some awesome stories from his days at SWAT. And then we have a good time with the jackwagon training last week also. So make sure you go back, check out episode 213 with Jeremy. So this week, as you guys have been seeing on social media, we're going to be talking about the new Glock, the Gen 5 Glock, that actually hasn't been released yet. It's going to be released officially, I believe, in a couple of days, the 30th into the month. But it is available in some gun stores. But as you're listening to this show, it's probably going to be available at your local gun store. So make sure you run out and go check it out. Cory Jones with Glock, he's going to be calling in any minute now. So I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors before we get started with Cory on talking about the Gen 5 Glock. Right On USA, the official optics of Talking Lead. You guys need to go check them out at rightonusa.com. And they have a full line of optics. They've got your rifle scopes, they've got your red dots, they've got binoculars, working on some range finders. Their binoculars, you guys heard us talk about in a couple episodes, are just amazing. 10x, crystal clear. About it, it's one of those things you got to see to believe. Everybody that I've put it in their hands, they've looked at it, looked through it, just they're amazed at the clarity that they get. I mean, it's better than the naked eye looking through these things. And their scopes are the exact same. Looking through their scopes, it's just crystal clear. Better than, obviously, the naked eye, especially when you get their magnification. And then they've got scopes that are illuminated as well, that have the illuminated reticles. So go check them out at Right On USA, and they've got some announcements to make as well. And some new things going on with Right On is they just started a new collaboration with hunting guru Craig Boddington. Craig is a well-known hunter, a writer. He's had a TV show. He's been published in several magazines. His current position is with Intermedia. He is the executive field editor for the Intermedia Outdoor Group, which includes Guns and Ammo, Peterson's Hunting, and Peterson's Rifle Shooter magazine. He's also the co-host of Guns and Ammo TV and Peterson's Hunting Adventures TV. So it's a great addition to the Right On group of ambassadors. And then another one that they've just signed is John Tig Teagan. And if you guys are familiar with the movie 13 Hours, which was about the Benghazi incident, of course you know that Tig was one of the guys that was involved in that altercation there in Benghazi. Looking forward to working with these guys. We're probably going to be getting them on the show soon. So some interviews to look forward to. Modern Spartan Systems. Optimize your firearms with their line of gun cleaners, lubricants, greases, and their engine additives. They have a product called TVT, which you guys have heard me talk about time and time again. Low lead sled. I just made a trip up to Lake Huron in Michigan, and that was like about 600 miles or so one way. So about 1,300 miles that I just did with the old lead sled. Went over 307,000 miles and still running like a top. On the way back, just happened to be when the eclipse was occurring, and I wasn't in the full eclipse path, but I did get to see a little bit of it. So me and the lead sled pulled over and checked out the eclipse for a little bit. But that was a fun trip. A good time up there, just hanging out, relaxing with some friends. I actually did a horseshoe tournament, which I'm not known for my horseshoe throwing prowess, so... but it was a good time. Frontier Tactical, makers of the Warlock multi-caliber adapter system for your AR-15. So basically what you're doing with this Warlock system is you're just changing out your current barrel nut system with their Warlock system, and it gives you the ability to shoot up to 90 different calibers from your AR-15 platform. And this works on most AR-15 rifles. Just check with them if you've got one that's questionable. They'll let you know whether it's compatible or not. But basically, once you get that on, it's just a quick turn, twist. You pop out your whole barrel assembly. You put in the new barrel for the new caliber. And if it requires a bolt change or a mag change, then you're ready to go. And you can shoot, like I said, up to 90. I think they're up to, I can't remember exactly how, close to 100 now, different calibers from that AR-15 platform. And then, oh, by the way, they also have their own line of rifles, the FT series, that comes standard with the Warlock system on it. So right out of the box, you can buy your AR-15 already converted and adapted to use that Warlock system. FrontierTactical.com. And then, I forgot to tell you, ModernSpartanSystems.com. Make sure you go check them out, their website, ModernSpartanSystems.com. X-Steel Targets.
X-Steel Targets.
The best, most affordable AR-500 steel targets on the market today are at xsteeltargets.com. They have a full line of targets there. They've got your targets for your hunters. They got your targets for your self-defense. They've got your targets for your competition shooters. And you can shoot all the way up to 50 BMG with their AR-500 steel targets. And if there's a particular target that you're looking for that maybe you don't see it on their website, give Bud a call, and he'll talk to you about custom making a target for you to fit your needs. Whether you're a recreational shooter, a competition shooter, you're law enforcement, military, get in touch with the guys over at xsteeltargets.com, and they can come up with a solution for you. xsteeltargets.com. And, of course, Glock, the official carry of Left Hand of Talking Lead. And we're getting ready to rock your world with Glock Talk in about 2 seconds here, just as soon as Cory calls in. But check them out at us.glock.com. And for those of you who are into Glocks, you live the Glock lifestyle, go check out their store, their accessory store, where they've got hats and shirts and water bottles, all kinds of things, cigar cutters, you name it. They've got it. They've got keychains. They've got ice coolers. They've got so much stuff at their store, I can't name it all. So go check them out at us.glock.com. And, I hear the phone ringing. Stand by. All right, guys, as promised, the moment that you've all been waiting for, we have none other than Cory Jones, Assistant National Sales Manager with Glock Inc. Glock Professional. Are you with, what's
Glock Professional?
Professional, there you go. Are you?
Yeah, we're all under the same umbrella.
You're all under the same umbrella. Okay, so as you guys know, I was up there, I guess, last month, and I took a Glock Professional course, the Glock Operators Course, and the thing that I couldn't talk about as part of that course, we're going to talk about today with Cory. We're going to be introducing the new Glock Gen 5, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-hoo!
That's right. It's finally here. The wait is over.
It is over, and as you guys have noticed, the social media has been going crazy with posts of the Gen 5. I know I've probably put a dozen or so posts since you guys lifted the NDA. It's been tough, man, not to talk about this. It's really got me excited. So I wanted Cory to come on, and probably better to describe all the new features than the social media post. He's going to tell us all the awesome stuff that you're going to be getting from the new Gen 5. So, Cory,
Absolutely. I'll do my best.
I'm going to turn it over to you, OG.
You got it, brother. Just two Richards, just deep thoughts by two Richards, right? Isn't that what we're doing today?
That's right, man. We're missing our other two Richards and the Ralph. So
that's right. They're here in spirit. They're definitely here in spirit.
this is the Dual Richard show.
First, thank you for having me. I'm glad to get the opportunity to kind of go over, what the Gen 5 is all about. First thing that I want to get out there for sure is the Gen 5. There's a lot of speculation that this was actually the gun that was submitted for the military testing, and that is not the case. So these two guns are different. So I want to put that out there first and foremost.
No, I was just saying that's a good point.
Okay.
As you and I were talking off air, I mean that's kind of the anticipation that I was kind of building myself up to. You guys had sent the release of that XM17 handgun, and we'd posted some pictures of that, and just logically, You're thinking that's what you're releasing, but this is not that gun.
Right, that is correct. This is the two guns are different. You never know. Sometime in the future, we'll be on this phone again talking about whatever new might be coming. So,
well, we are the show for exclusives, so.
And we appreciate everything Talking Lead does for us. Believe me.
Well,
but yeah, man,
here.
just kind of short and sweet.
All right, let's hear it.
Go ahead.
Well, short
All
and
right,
sweet.
You got
let's get long. Let's get long
So,
and dirty, man. Let's not do short and sweet.
Long and dirty. I don't know if we got enough time for that.
Oh, yeah.
So what we got, as we mentioned before, is the Gen 5. The Gen 5 will be available in two models, the 17 and 19, 9mm only to start with. There will be some future models coming up, but don't have any definite ETAs on those yet. But for now, it'll be the 17 and the 19. Some of the five main features that we talk about and point out to the public and to our law enforcement partners would be the flared magwell, the new coating, which is an nDLC. The magazines also have a orange follower and a different toe plate that'll be on the floor plate. With the toe on the end, so you can get faster extraction, and also with the flared magwell, you're going to get faster reloads. On the top end of the gun, you got the barrel, which is the Glock marksman barrel. Same rifling design that we've had before. However, what they've done is taken that rifling and moved it up in the chamber, so the round is actually captured earlier in the barrel. So it allows those tongues, lands, and grooves, obviously, to grab it sooner, send it down range, and you got more accuracy with that barrel. And you've also got an ambidextrous slide stop lever, so the southpaws out there, they can actually control the weapon a little bit easier than they had been before. And I believe, not 100% sure, but I believe the slide stop lever is a little bit larger and is more of a downward angle than it was before. So you get a little bit better, get more of your thumb on that slide stop lever to control it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our five main parts of the weapon.
Now the finger grooves
There's
too.
actually over 20 different design changes.
Yeah.
But a lot of those are inside the weapon, so they don't really affect most of what's going on in there. The trigger pull is still going to be about 5.5 to 6 pounds, give or take. It is a different kind of trigger, so you can't just take that trigger out, put it in a Gen 4. So a lot of things on this gun are being improved, but they're not interchangeable with the Gen 4 guns. So that kind of makes everything a lot different. Still got the same texture. Oh, the one thing I did forget on the top five features actually was no finger grooves. I can't forget that.
There you go.
Something that a lot of folks have been asking for years. Don't necessarily call it a throwback. I'd say we just taken the Gen 4 and upgraded it now to where more people can get their hand on that weapon, fire it better. They don't have to worry about the finger grooves anymore, where it threw a lot of folks' grip off. Now they can really get up, seated on the weapon. Still comes with the 4 back straps, so you got the beaver tails on there, and you still got the Gen 4 texture.
Nice.
So overall, we've made some upgrades. Still the same Glock system, still takes down the same, comes apart the same. The simple, safe, fast design is still there. Just tried to make some improvement that a lot of the market's been asking for over the past few years. So we're super excited about it. You mentioned the social media stuff that's been going on. We had a great range event. There was a launch event that was at 100 ranges across the country. Had the gun up at the NRA Carry Guard show, I believe, or Expo, I believe is the name of it. Yeah. So a lot of interest is out there in it. A lot of people asking about it. A lot of people are excited to see it. So we're excited to be able to start selling it. To kind of give you an idea of when they can expect availability, the ranges had them over the weekend. Some folks had some midnight events where people came in and shot the guns and actually bought some guns on Saturday. And then the guns are actually shipping from the distributors to the dealers today and tomorrow. So the first Gen 5s were available on Saturday. Now there's going to be another shipment from the distributors today and tomorrow, so they'll be able to go to their local gun stores this week and pick up the new Gen 5 or try it at a local range.
There you go, guys. So it's going to be available this week as you're listening to this show. Probably within the next day or two, you'll be able to go to your dealer and pick up your new Gen 5. Now, for those people that are local to where I am in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area, I'm going to be at On Target this week with these new Gen 5s, and I invite you to come on out and give them a try. I know this weekend I took them out to the range, Cory, and people were going nuts over it. And of course, this was after the NDA was lifted. Don't want to get myself in trouble, but as soon as the NDA was lifted, I took it out there because I know those guys were chomping at the bit because they had to sign an NDA as well. The dealer, he couldn't even look at it, to check it in. I had to read the serial numbers off and everything like that. But I was covering everything up so he could see the serial numbers, and he was just cussing left and right. But once the NDA was lifted, I took it back out there, and the people that were at the shop got to shoot it. They took it out, and bar none, everybody, and there was at least a dozen people that took it out, the first response was the grip. They noticed the grip right off. They're like, man, I can get a better purchase on this thing. It feels like, because a lot of people, and I did that with mine, is I Dremel out that trigger guard up underneath there so I can get my middle finger up under there a little better. But with those finger grooves gone now, it just feels like it naturally is going up in there, and you don't need that extra space. And that's what everybody was mentioning. And there was LE guys in there shooting it too, and they were all saying the same thing. So that
it's definitely improved the grip all the way around, like you said, getting a higher grip on the frame.
Mm-hmm.
But as a shooter, I'm gonna switch roles on you a little bit. You're usually asking all the questions. What did you think about it? Because you were down here for the summit that we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
To kind of go over the gun itself. I think you got a little bit of our new armor or operators course. So what did you think?
Yeah. So, and again, initially the thing that I noticed right off were the sights. And that's something that you didn't talk about. Is it's got these, and this is an optional thing, I guess, that you can get with, or you can get the normal sights.
Well, that's actually a great point. They're actually what we call the Bold series. They're actually made by Ameriglow. Yep, those sights are exclusive to us for the Gen 5 pistol. And then they're also available with our Glock night sight pistol, with our Glock night sights, and then they're also available just with the standard fixed sight. So we've got a couple different options there. But that is a great point. I wasn't sure if you shot that down at the summit or not. I know we had a few of those floating around, but everybody seems to love those sights.
Love them.
As far as on the gun and how they show up. It's got a black rear with a orange and tritium front. So the sights worked out well for us on that pistol.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that was the first thing that I noticed. I was able to get quicker target acquisition with those. I'm used to just the standard white, Glock sights. I just changed mine out probably a week or so before that class, to where I had put some tritium sights on it, where it was an orange front and then the back there. And I hadn't had a chance to take it out yet and try it, but in trying out this new Gen 5 during that class, I put 1,000 rounds through this thing. Each time as we were going through that, each drill, each day, my groups were getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And, that was due to the grip also, to where, because of those grooves, sometimes you find yourself having to readjust your hand because your fingers slide off that groove, those finger grooves, and you're having to, to readjust. And with those gone now, it just stays there. There's nothing for it to hump over or around. So I think that was a great move by you guys to get rid of those finger grooves. Plus, it's going to make it
that's something that a lot of folks have been asking for years. It's been 50-50 usually. Some people love the grooves because it fits their hand.
Yep.
And the other 50, if not 60%, hated the grooves because they didn't fit their fingers.
Right, because everybody's got different size fingers and hands, so it's not going to fit everybody. So I think that this way, everybody's hand's going to fit right there. So that was a great move. Plus, you got the back straps that they can adjust too. Now, another thing, Cory, that I noticed that you haven't talked about is, you've got the flared magwell now, which is awesome. Love that. Mm-hmm. You've got the extended base plate where it's got the toe on there for easier extraction of your magazine, so when you pull it out. But you've also cut up a groove around the bottom front where the mag goes in too, so it's easier to get your finger in there and strip that mag out if you've got a stuck mag.
Right.
So that's
we actually took those guns out when we first started testing them. Obviously giving them to our guys, go shoot them, see if we could break them, that kind of thing. And but you're exactly right. I mean, having that hump there cut out to where you can grab that extension on the floor plate really helps you. I mean, as we know, our LE and military, customers, you never know what kind of fight they're going to be in, what kind of situation they're going to be in. You never know. You're squeezing that frame. Maybe the mag gets hung up, gives you a real chance to rip that mag out. Or as you saw in some of the drills, I think you did in the operators course, if you're in a bad situation, you got to get that mag out. There's something else there to help you get that mag out of that gun.
Yeah, if you're doing one hand manipulations, and you've got to strip it on your side or something, it's easier to get your belt or something around that mag now to strip it out if you're doing one-handed manipulations. So that was I like that.
Yeah, and then when we saw it, actually, and a lot of us, and I don't shoot a lot. I shoot when I can or when I need to, I guess is the best way to put it. But even with somebody like me who doesn't shoot a lot, I'm not a shooter. I'm not a competition shooter. But even with myself, trying to go through and improve your reload time, the flared magwell and with the toe on the plate made mine a lot faster. And overall, I want to say we saw between a second to 2 second faster, tactical type reloads or quick reloads from the guys we were testing with, running through some drills and stuff like that. So it definitely is a benefit. It's definitely going to be for everybody, competition, law enforcement, individual, whatever. It's going to be a lot better for everybody.
Yeah. And I was noticing also between the Gen 4 and the Gen 5, and I mean, I don't know that it may be because they're new guns, but it seems like the ejection of the magazine is smoother as well. I don't know if that was a design or if that's just, the difference between the molds and the guns for the run I got, but between the ones that I've got, between the 4 and the 5, the mag just popping it out, with the mag release itself, it seems like it's a lot more positive. So, it could be a fluke. I don't know if that's a design thing or not.
I'm not sure as far as the mag goes, but it could be.
Yeah. So let's talk about the mag. So you guys changed the follower in the magazines as well, and you've got a bright orange. Well, it's not real bright. It's orange. Kind of hunter orange. Well, not really hunter. What orange would you call it?
It's a safety orange. It's safety orange.
Okay, safety orange. Yeah. Which I found, at first you see that and you're like, why is that orange? It's going to stand out, and people are going to see. But if you got ammo in there, nobody's going to see that anyway. The only way they're going to see it is when it's ejected from the gun and it's empty. So what it helps with is as you're going down and loading or you're shooting, you can quickly pop your mag out and you can see how many rounds you got left because that orange shows up through your indicator holes. Right.
Well, it also shows too, as we know, gun cycles back, last round out. People have gotten messy before, or maybe it didn't lock back for some reason. They rode the slide stop lever. They look in there and it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
But now with that orange floor plate, you can definitely tell if it's empty or not. There's not going to be a second guess. I haven't seen any orange brass anywhere, so that it's
right.
also going to help in that regard too, of doing a clear, doing a check that gives your gun to somebody or take it apart or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to look down in there and see that orange follower and know for sure that it's unloaded.
Exactly. Yeah, but you always want to stick your pinky in that barrel. So
that's right. Always.
Always. Another thing that I noticed, and we're kind of getting, this is still on the inside, but it's an inside-outside thing, is you've got one trigger pin now. You did away with the dual trigger pins.
Yep. I don't know the technical side of that, to be honest, but I do know there's, like I said, other internal parts are different as well. The trigger housing's different. A lot of things are different inside that pistol.
Yeah.
Which
makes for easier.
That had to do with it.
Yeah, for you armors, obviously it makes for an easier takedown of the firearm when you're breaking it down, taking it apart. You just got one pin to deal with rather than two. And I noticed this, the 17. And I don't think it comes into play on the 19, but the 17, you've got a longer spring than you do on the Gen 4 versus the Gen 5. Is that accurate? Do you know anything about that?
Longer spring as far as recoil spring or trigger spring?
Your recoil spring. Sorry.
I have not seen anything on that on the recoil springs.
Okay.
So I'm not. I think it could be due because of a different locking block or what have you that's going in there, but I don't have exact information on that. So that's something I'll definitely check into myself.
Okay, but I do know that on the 17 there is it's an evident difference that because even on the barrel the spring stop is back further on the barrel because I guess it's longer because it is a longer spring. But on the 19 they seem to be the same. So,
right. Yeah, I think that may go into effect too because I believe talking with some of the guys in technical service and also some other sales guys, the lockup's a little bit different on the 17. Mm-hmm. The 19 is the same lockup that it was before, but the 17's got a little bit different lockup, so that could be the reason for that longer spring.
Okay, we'll get more detail on that.
Yep, absolutely.
For you guys, now you got the ambi slide stop, which is great. I like that. Yep. For your offhand manipulation or the lefties, the southpaws. They're really going to like that feature. They're going to have to go and train now, train a little different, right. But they're going to like.
I think also
catch on quick.
On that ambi side stop, it's a little bit different design or size. If you look at a standard slide stop lever, it's kind of flat, mm-hmm. really next to the pistol. Sometimes they're kind of hard to manipulate, so that you have an extended slide stop. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, on the new one, they're a little bit different, where they're kind of angled down more and a little bit more of a hump in there. So it's a little bit easier for you to get in there and manipulate that slide stop lever.
It's turned a little bit more at an angle, so it's easier for you to get your thumb on there and manipulate it. So. Yeah, I did notice that too. So it's at a slight angle, so it makes it easier for that meat of your thumb to catch it and release
right.
it.
And one thing I didn't mention too, which is still a feature that was on the 4, is the reversible magazine catch. Mm-hmm. So you can definitely take the gun and make it into a left-handed gun.
Yeah.
With the ambi slide stop and then the reversible mag catch.
Yeah. Now I've seen comments floating around on the interwebs. They're kind of disappointed that you didn't do an ambi mag release. I'm glad it's not, because I would constantly be hitting it on the other side when I grip my gun.
Right.
And popping
we actually, if you remember probably, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 8 years ago, could be more than that now. They all run together at this point, to be honest. But if you remember, we came out with the 21SF, and there was 2 different versions of that gun. There was a Picatinny rail, and then there was a standard Weaver rail. Mm-hmm. And the Picatinny rail actually come out originally with an ambidextrous mag release.
Oh. And
exactly what you mentioned there, we had quite a handful of folks that would constantly be squeezing the mag release or the mag catch and releasing the magazines when they're trying to shoot. So we actually had basically a voluntary, if you wanted to send your gun in and you had a Picatinny rail with an ambidextrous mag release or mag catch, you could send it in. We'd swap it out for you.
Gotcha.
Some folks didn't have that problem, but as you mentioned, some folks did. So
yeah,
that's one reason why we didn't do it. We've been down that road before, and while it was it's a great pistol, still it just had a few issues with that mag catch being hit.
Yeah,
and releasing the magazine when you didn't want it to be.
But I like the fact that you still have the option that you can switch it over if you're a southpaw and you like it over there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know that. They didn't know that you could switch that over. I was surprised.
We still run into a lot of things. We try our best to get out as much information as we possibly can, but you still run into some folks that they just don't have all the information. For whatever reason. So yeah, you're right. We've had a lot of folks go back over maybe some are still unsure of what all the differences are in a 4 versus a 3. And it'll probably be that way a little bit for the 5s as well, being that it's new.
Yeah.
But we'll do all we can to try to go to all the shows, get out all the information we can get out there. Actually having guys like yourself and Talking Lead and a few other folks that help us disseminate that information. We get as much out there as we possibly can, and we'll continue to do that.
We like information here.
Information's power, right?
That's right.
I don't know what we do with the power once we get it, but information's
crack.
Power.
It's like crack, man. I can't get enough of it.
It is. Everybody wants to be the first to get all the information, right?
That's right. We want to have a leg up on everybody. Now there are some, like you
Right.
said, there are some other internal things, and it's really hard to point out on a radio, but we have been posting pictures on the interwebs, so you guys can go in. There's some definite, obvious things, especially if you're an armorer, you'll be able to notice this stuff right off. I tried to get an armorer on with us, but he couldn't make it, and I was gonna have him go through. He's an egghead about this stuff too. When I took it and showed it to him, man, he was just like, "Look at this, and look, and this is different. And look, and there's no spring over there, and they took the spring out right there, and it's under." And I was like, "Okay."
Yep.
He was geeking
if you
out
say
over
so,
it,
man. I'll believe you.
Yeah, he was geeking out, and he would show me, and he'd point out and show me. I was like, "Yeah, I mean, there's just little things that if you don't work on these things day in and day out, you wouldn't notice." But
Right.
It was all positive stuff too, man, and he was excited about it. So
Yeah, like I said, there's over 20 changes in the pistol, 5 of which we feel are the major changes that are going to benefit most everyone.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more, and it makes it its own pistol. Its own, Gen 5 is going to be its own generation. There's not a whole lot of interchangeability at all, really, with the 4s. So that's going to be a good thing, I think, for the Gen 5. So that especially for us, obviously, we want to sell as many Gen 5s as we can.
Yeah, yeah.
But
that's the thing. I mean, you guys are.
We had a brand live event on Friday, just going over with all the ranges, all the dealers, distributors that we could get to go over, watching some videos and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of good videos posted on the web with this range event, going over a lot of differences. But that was one thing that kept getting brought up was, will this still work in this pistol, or will this part still work in this pistol? And overall, obviously we don't promote aftermarket products, being on the pistol, but overall we haven't done anything, I don't think, that's going to stop any of those things from working. Yeah. And I'm sure all the accessory guys, it's like anything else. If you have a Mustang or any other kind of car you buy, you can buy all kinds of accessories for it. And if they bring out a new one, they just make more accessories. So
exactly.
I think overall, folks will still be able to do the things they want. We of course believe they're just as good stock, but obviously a lot of folks want to trick them out, and all that stuff should still be doable as well.
As far as
just be very careful when you do it. Just throw it out there.
Stock goes, I mean, right out of the box, like I said, I put 1,000 rounds in that class through this thing, and I really wasn't thinking anything about what I would change. Even the trigger, there's a noticeable difference in the trigger itself. It's a smoother trigger, where the other one's kind of crisp. This one's more smooth. Even on the reset, you get a better reset on it as well.
Yep, like I said, that the trigger weight is about the same. It still measures out within our tolerances for production between 5.5 and 6 to 6.3 or something like that pounds. But overall, it is a different trigger system. It's built more off like a New York 1 style trigger, so you don't have that trigger spring in there that can get twisted or what have you when taken apart or put back together, whatever the case may be. So it does have a different trigger mech housing, there's a different trigger bar. Like I said, there's 20 other changes inside of that. Yeah. I wish I was as good of an armorer as most of the guys out there that do this every day. I'm too busy trying to sell them.
Right.
Than I am taking them apart, and I should get better at doing that, obviously, because it would help me sell more of them. But
they have an armorer's course there you can take.
Yeah, it's been a while. I need to go back and take that thing again, I think. I went through the operators course. I didn't score very well, but I went through it. So
I did too, man.
I did get my certificate.
I got my certificate, just barely made it, but I was geeking out over, just the gun itself. And I did, like I said, the trigger is noticeably different. When you shoot it, you're going to notice that right off. So,
and see, that's what I need to do. Not to interrupt you, that's what I need to do is go down and shoot it with a Gen 5 now, because I heard it makes the worst shooter shoot better, and I definitely need all the help I can get. So I need to go down there and do that operators course with the 5.
I'm proof in the pudding, man. Like I said, my groups were just like unbelievable. I was like, is this me shooting? What is this? Is this like a remote control gun or something? But as soon as the gun hits your hand, guys, it's a noticeable difference with the grip. So just as soon as you touch it, you feel the difference in the grip. It's more comfortable grip. It's more natural grip. And then when you go to shoot it, that trigger pull, you're really going to like it. I doubt there's going to be many people other than competition shooters that would want to do anything different with that trigger after they've shot it. Now you still got, your die-hard stipple people that they want to stipple, their refrigerator grips. They're going to still go in and want to do that. But even your texture on this thing is very aggressive. It's a good texture on there. I like it. And I'm sitting here fingering it as we're talking. So
yeah. Obviously. You sound like you're getting really into it, too. Don't start breathing heavy on the radio, okay?
Oh, baby. So, yeah. All I can recommend is to go shoot one. And if you guys are going to be around Murfreesboro this week, and I'm going to release the show today, Cory, just so you know. This is Monday, August the 28th. I don't know exactly what times I'll be out at On Target, but be looking at their social media post and my social media post. I'll be out there 1 or 2 days this week with these Gen 5s. You guys want to come out, try them out, you're more than welcome. Of course, you buy your own ammo. I'm not buying your ammo.
Yeah. Glock, put that out there firsthand, right?
That's
Real
right.
quick.
Glock don't pay me, so
right.
I get nothing from Glock, so just so you guys know. But
maybe a couple of beers here and there you get from Glock.
Well, that's the OGs, the Richards going out having a good time.
That's right.
And speaking of,
you're gonna be down at Big 3 again this year, right?
Big 3 East coming up, October 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yep, you gonna be there?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We're gonna have a good time. You'll have the fives out there as well.
We will, and I think that's all we're bringing. We want everybody to shoot them as much as they possibly can shoot them. I think that's all we're bringing this time, just so. Make sure to get as many hands on it. All you guys out there, as far as the media goes, and with YouTubers, bloggers, writers, whatever the case may be, as many hands we can put those guns in is going to be the better. So we'll definitely be there for the Big 3 and shooting as much 9mm downrange through the 17 and 19 as humanly possible.
Now, are you going to bring the 18 just for shits and giggles like you normally do, or are you going to leave that in the bag?
We hadn't decided yet. I think we're just going to stick with the 17 and the 19. But we'll see. We'll leave that for a surprise. Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Well, we got to shoot it during the operators course. It was a good time. Just kind of icing on the cake there the last day. That was a good time. Gen 1 brought it out and let us shoot it.
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, yeah, Chris Edwards.
Yeah, they call him Gen 1. Yep. That's his nickname.
Oh, yeah. He's been here a while. He has been here a while. He's seen a lot happen, seen a lot of changes. I've been here 14 years in just 2 months, so I've been here a while myself. I'm not getting any younger, I guess, am I?
So a question I've got from one of our subscribers is this going to be available for California? Is this California legal?
Unfortunately, no. No.
Boom, boom, boom. Aww.
Yep.
Sorry, Cali.
Yeah, unfortunately, as everybody knows, if they don't know, with the DOJ requirements, which the main one being a magazine disconnect, we submit guns for approval, but unless we were to change our design, they would not be approved for California, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, I'm sure their time is coming. I mean, you guys are constantly, and that's what I like about the comment that you made is like, this is a completely different gun. This is not your, regular Glock. You guys have gone in, you've innovated, you've improved upon an already awesome gun. And that's what I like. You guys aren't just sitting back on your heels and, this is good enough. You're always taking in your end users' suggestions, processing, putting it to the test, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and improving on the gun. Now, that goes back to the barrel. We hadn't talked about the barrel yet. So real quick, I mean, that's a huge difference in the gun as well. You guys have gone in. You call it the Glock accuracy barrel, is that right?
It's the Glock marksman barrel, so marksman.
GMB. So talk about the differences in that real quick. I mean, you said the rifling is the same. To me, it looked a little different, but again,
it's the same. It's the same design, polygonal, however you want to pronounce it. It's the same design as that, lands and grooves. However, what they've done is, if you've ever filleted open a barrel, you've kind of seen where those lands and grooves start inside the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what they did was they pushed that back towards the chamber where the bounds on the feed ramps and stuff in the barrel. So when it comes up the ramp, the actual head of the bullet gets captured by those lands and grooves faster. I don't know the exact measurement of how much further back they went, but when they went back further, it just allows the lands and grooves to pick that bullet head up faster and send it down range. So that, obviously gets the spin on it, gets everything going the way it needs to go, and it provides a more accurate shot when it does go down range. So that's the basic, if you want to call it barrel for dummies, because that's
right.
what I consider myself as a dummy on barrels. But the kind of basic principle is they took the lands and grooves, they started those lands and grooves back further in the barrel, which allowed the lands and grooves to catch the head first, the bullet head first, to send it down range, which allows it to be, or causes it to be more accurate.
Right. Well, I mean, if you look at it down the barrel, if you're looking down the barrel, you can see a noticeable difference in the offset where they've pushed that back, where in a Gen 4, it's just a solid piece up front, and then in the Gen 5, you've got kind of a step down to where you see kind of the inside of it there. I've got a post on Instagram there with it. Got a nice Polaroid of it on Instagram there. You guys can check it out. But, yeah, so I'm excited about this, man. So some of the things that people have mentioned to me that they wished were on here, one being front serrations.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be a big want on people's want list, or front serrations. Is that something you guys are considering maybe? I know you did it on a version of the Gen 4. You did like a short run of those?
Yeah, we did them for a summer special, but there's no discussions as of doing that as of now. Of course, anything can change, but you never know. We could come out with a different model at some point in time, but I don't have any information on that right now.
Gotcha. Well, that was one thing. Another thing they're asking as far as magazines go, and I know you said that as far as the parts go, the guns, you're not going to want to try to interchange any of those parts, or I don't know about slides or anything like that. Magazines, are they interchangeable?
Yeah, the Gen 5 mags will work in the 4s. So that's going to be there will be a different magazine part number, obviously with the orange followers and the different floor plates.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest questions is, and has always been, even when the 4s came out, we had a rolling change on the mags.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're not having a rolling change as it sits today. Again, all could change. Yeah. But as we all know, if there's a new mag or a new part or whatever the case is, then most people want that new Gen 5 part.
Yeah.
So I kind of foresee, I would kind of say that the Gen 5s will most likely take over the 4 mags, but as it sits right now, we will have 2. So the 5s will work in the 4s.
And vice versa?
The 4s, to my knowledge, will not work in the 5s because the follower is different because you've got the change in the barrel. So the 5s will work, but I don't believe the 4s will work in the 5s.
Okay, I've not tested
they do
that
work,
yet.
It's just not I can't say with 100% certainty sitting here today that the 4s will not work, but they may not work as well.
Okay, I'll test that out this week. I know just playing with them here, dry firing, the 4s fit in the they lock into place and everything. Mm-hmm. There's a little wiggle though, so yeah. That could be an issue. So I'll test that out this week and see myself. But
yeah, but I'll find out as well from some of the guys down the street and shoot you an email or a text or something. Kind of give you an update. Word.
Is there anything else that we need to talk about on these? Is there?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all. Like I said, they'll be available this week at most dealers across the country. Our top 10 distributors got the first shipment, and they had the green light to start shipping today.
Yeah.
And then most guns will probably arrive in 2 days. In some cases, maybe a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
But most time it's a 2 to 5 day delivery. So you'll see a bunch of guns out there this week.
Right. So what? Another big thing on people's minds are that, all right, Cory, you got all these awesome improvements done to this gun. Can't be cheap. How much more am I going to have to pay for my Glock now?
Actually, it's not that much more. What we've got advertised is MSRP nobody uses for the most part. MSRP on them is around $660, something like that. But what you'll find them in most retailers, we do try to we do try to make it affordable for everybody, make the best pistol possible at the most affordable price. And right now, you should see them anywhere from $560 to $575 is what we kind of got our minimum advertised pricing set up at.
So that's only
it's about $100 more, or about $100 more than what you'll find on a Gen 3, and a little bit more than what you'd find on a Gen 4.
Okay. So, I mean, it's really about, really only like $30, $40 more what you're looking at, versus the 4s. Yep. So, not bad at all to get all those improvements. And
yeah, exactly. And who knows what the future holds for all that on the 4s and the 3s. Obviously, with the 3s, with the 5 being out now, the other question we've gotten is, will we still make the 3s? And the answer is yes. We will still make the 3s, primarily for California because they're still on that roster.
Yeah.
They have been grandfathered in. So we will still make the 3s, but, most of what we've been selling now over the last few years has been 4s. The price difference may have helped that on the 3s, but
I'm a Gen 3 guy. I love the Gen 3s. Didn't really buy into the Gen 4s as much, but I'm going to have to change mine out now to the Gen 5 because I definitely love the Gen 5. But I've done so much customization to mine already. So
right.
I've got the slide cuts and the stippling and, all that. But I'll definitely be getting me a 5. And I'll probably, believe it or not, I'll go with the 9 until you guys come out with the 40.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll have to see what the market. We're going to let the market dictate what when we bring that out. As you know right now.
Yeah.
The 9s have definitely taken over 40. The sales have definitely slowed tremendously.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is because of where some federal agencies have gone from 40 to 9s, the ammo changes in 9s, stuff of that nature. So we'll kind of let the market dictate on when we need to bring out some different calibers.
Just a bunch of sheeple. I can't sit here
today and tell you it's going to go across the entire line, but if we do like we normally do, Mr. Glock has built an empire and done great things, and it's always gone across the line at some point, especially with something that works. As you've seen, 5 generations now, that says a lot for what Glock's done, in 30 plus years. Pretty short if you think about it, and what's been accomplished by and just producing pistols. So overall, it's a great improvement. We're excited about it. Glad to finally get guns out there, and just going to ship as many as we possibly can.
I'm glad the G-Man is still cranking out new innovative handguns. Thumbs up for Mr. G. Another
Absolutely.
thing
myself, my wife, and kids are happy too.
No doubt. Another thing we forgot to talk about was the front of the slide has been tapered. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, they did taper it where it's similar to the 26. I actually asked that question from our technical service guys if there was a definite reason or what have you. I think it was pretty much cosmetic, and went with a design that works on the 26 and just decided to go with that. That was kind of what I got from our technical service guys.
Okay. Well, I did notice that because I do have a Gen 4 27, and that is tapered just like this, but none of the other ones are. So I didn't know if that was like a big thing or, what the reasoning, the egghead reasoning was for that. It's more aerodynamic, if you throw it or something, I guess.
Well, we don't want to talk about, unnamed other manufacturers. That might be a useful option.
Right, exactly. When you run out of ammo. Yeah, that was something that I forgot. I meant to ask you about that earlier, but so I don't know. Maybe we can get an answer from them on that too as to why they went with the tapered.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask, and like I said, I'll go with that, and also ask you on the I think it was the magazine change information on that.
Yeah,
and then let you know when I find something out.
Very good. Now, this is a huge release. Obviously you guys have put a lot of R&D into this, but you've probably got some more stuff maybe coming on the horizon.
We hope, yeah, definitely. We're always trying to put something new out there, something that the market wants. Obviously, a little teaser, it'll be great stuff. I can't tell you what it is today, but I can tell you in the near future that there will be some other items that are coming out. I just can't tell you when, but definitely be looking over the next year or two. We'll definitely have some new stuff coming out that we hope everybody's going to like. Some stuff people have been asking for a while, and just some new stuff that we think will be good for the market. So overall, it's going to be an exciting next 2 years, especially with, as we all know, where the market's at and where the gun market is itself. It's definitely not what it was last year or the year before.
Yeah.
So definitely you gotta keep your finger on the pulse and try to figure out what people want, and then again try to make it for the best possible product you can for the most affordable price. So that's our goal. That's our goal, to keep digging away and keep bringing out new stuff.
This is what I tell our listeners, right? This is if you were ever going to buy a firearm or you wanted to start your collection, this is the best time to do it because prices are the lowest they've been in decades. So ammo's cheap, guns are cheap, they're plentiful, and people are still putting out new products. Like Glock, people aren't afraid to go out and keep innovating and bringing great products to the market. So this is a time, especially with the administration that we have right now, I think you're going to see a lot of innovation coming to this industry. So, like Cory says,
one thing that we at Glock, I know for sure we pride ourselves on is rather than doing a cheaper price, then we definitely want to bring out new innovative products. We want to bring out new stuff to keep the brand vibrant, alive, and always bring out new stuff rather than just drop the price or give some kind of new deal. A lot of times customers, obviously, they're smart buyers. It's not what it used to be 3 or 4 years ago when the market was just crazy and everybody went in just to buy 4 or 5 guns. It didn't matter what you had. Didn't matter what caliber it was in most cases. It was just, I need to buy as many guns as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. And even then, you had a lot of buyers that went in and wanted to know if you had a certain pistol in stock. But now we're seeing that market change. We're seeing the concealed carry market had blown up last year over the last couple of years. So now it's really about either what, like you mentioned, you've got your gun tricked out. You've got all this stuff done to it. And that's what we've kind of seen over the last year or so is there's more people going out and tricking their guns out rather than buy 2, 3, or 4 different ones. They're going and picking one, and they're putting a lot of money into that one gun. So we definitely want to keep bringing stuff out. So now you have another gun that you need to go trick out. Now you've got another item that you've got to go and do stuff to.
Exactly.
So it's if you're not in that cycle, if you're just sitting back making the one thing, then obviously you're not going to sell as many because they've got 3 or 4 or 5 of them. I'm sure you've got more than one, and most Glock owners that I talk to have got 6 or 7. And it's funny, it's amazing to me. You have guys that are just 19 fans, and they've got 2 versions of every version of a 19. Which is great. We love that. We love our enthusiasts. We love the guys that stick with us through thick and thin. And even when like I said, when the market's tough, you got to have something new. So obviously we picked some of the 2 popular models, right? A 17 and a 19. 19 always is number 1 for us.
Sure.
It's probably the best entry-level gun to start with for a first-time shooter. I venture to guess that the 19 is probably the most rented gun of Glock pistols at any range. If you don't have a 19, you're not renting a Glock possibly if you don't have a 19.
Right, yeah.
So that's, it goes in, and we're doing a lot of things right and continue to try to do things better.
Amen. And I'm behind that 100%. So you guys go to, do you have pictures of this posted on your site yet? Of the Gen 5?
Not yet. Our actual official launch, I guess you could say, would be the 30th. So we're kind of letting this range event play out a little bit. You can see pictures on it. You can look at Facebook at hashtag Glock Reveal, and there's a lot of posts on there of different places to go across the country to shoot the pistol.
Okay.
That have the guns in stock today. They have them in stock today to sell them. So that's 100 ranges across the country. So you can definitely go on there and kind of see where you might be able to go. If a list is not posted up there, you can definitely there's a message board there. You can definitely try to find out where to go. And then when our official launch day, so you'll see a whole lot of stuff come out on the 30th, which I know you're probably aware of too. The media embargo got lifted on Friday, but most of our stuff is hitting on the 30th,
right,
which will be right before Labor Day. And try to push as many guns and as many people to as many stores as we possibly can.
And real quick, I hear the jackwagon train coming in. Toot toot.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the talking lead jackwagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
I'm throwing that dickweed that released the pictures early on the jackwagon train of the Gen 5. I don't know who it was, but some bonehead went ahead of
the white banner.
Yeah. So that's,
we saw that, and unfortunately, every launch can't be 100% perfect, right?
You've always got one in the crowd, and this is the one. This guy's the one.
Yeah, as we all know, absolutely, the Glock is a great pistol out there. We're always striving for perfection. It's in our logo. That's always something to strive for. And as with anything, there's only one person that's perfect, right?
Right.
And we strive to be as best as we can. But yeah, sometimes you get some of those that maybe it was a mess up, maybe it was I want to get everybody here first, like we said before. Knowledge is power, right? Once you get that power, it depends on what you do with it, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So that was a little bump in the road, but hey, I kind of look at things too. If they're not talking about you, you're doing something wrong. So as long as people are talking about you, you must be doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, you sign an NDA, and this guy went against it, and he's a jackwagon. So welcome to the jackwagon
exactly.
train.
You're going to have one in every crew, right? You're going to have one in every crew, for sure.
There's always one. And I'm just glad that I wasn't the one. So
yeah. I am too.
You are too, right?
On this call with you, if that was the case.
Yeah, I would be embargoed. I would be barred.
Right.
So I try to go to extra links, not to. Even if you say it's this day, I'll wait a little bit longer just to make sure. But it's all out there now.
I think out of 100 ranges, we had one or two maybe that had a snafu, but overall, I think it went over pretty good. It was a success, so we've got a lot out of it, and appreciate all those ranges and all the folks who were part of that. It definitely takes a team. It's not just one or two people that make things go boom, make things go bang, and they make things do great as far as launches go. So, and again, hats off to all you guys in the media that didn't go against that NDA and held off on everything. I think everybody's seeing the benefits of that. So we appreciate you guys and all the stuff the media is doing for us as well.
Well, hats off to you guys there, your crew, everybody there at Glock. I've met a lot of you guys. Haven't met everybody there yet, but everybody is on the same page. You can tell, very sincere. They love Glock. They love the product. They love working for Mr. Glock. Everybody calls him Mr. Glock. So
right.
There's respect there. I've never heard anybody call him Gaston, by his first name. But the enthusiasm that you guys have with your products is it's rare in this industry. A lot of people get burnt out with the products, and you can tell that they're not very enthused about what they're pushing, what they're selling. But I've not run across anybody there at your organization that wasn't 100% sincerely enthused about the product and the company that they work for. So you guys are doing something.
I'll tell you, it makes it a lot easier to come to work every day when you believe in what you're selling. A lot easier.
Yeah, and another thanks to the Glock Professional guys over there, Willie, Scotty, Chris, and Chuck. Is it Chuck?
Yep, Chuck Evans. Yep.
Yeah, the one, he's got the heavy kind of. Is he Cajun? I can't really tell what he is, but
I'm not sure. I'm not real sure at all.
He got a good Southern kind of accent, but hats off to those guys and the course that they put on. It was an excellent course. I don't think I praised them enough in the episode that we had them on. And, of course, Josh Dorsey. Have you seen that boy shoot? Oh, my gosh.
No, I have. Not recently.
He is right on target, man.
Yeah.
He's slow and smooth and just hole in hole, man. He was doing excellent. He went through the time drills that we did in the end, and he was just killing it, man. Very impressive.
That's awesome.
So you don't want to get in a gunfight with Josh. Don't piss him off.
I try not to. He's the one making sure I get to stay here most of the time.
Right.
So I'm good to go. I'll take that advice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Cory, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate Brandy setting everything up, making this happen, getting the T&E guns to us. I don't know my deadline on these, but I'm not near finished with them yet. So.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that if you need a little extra time, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. I'll have to look and see what her deadline was. I don't remember what her deadline was, but I'm definitely going to need to extend. I've not had a chance to really take them to the range myself yet. But I did.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to compare the Gen 4 accuracy to the Gen 5. And I'll probably need a better shooter than me to do that. So I'll probably get Casey Griggs, bring him in, and do a comparison. Somebody who's consistent with their shots, unlike me. So we'll be doing that with these guns as well. But lots more coming, guys. Stay tuned with the Gen 5. As more information becomes available, we will let you know. And if Cory is so inclined, we'll get him on and we'll talk about all the new stuff.
Absolutely. I appreciate it all again.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Okay, guys, so that was Cory Jones with Glock and the latest scoop on the Gen 5 Glock. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Appreciate Cory taking the time to fill us in on all the new features that you guys are going to be getting with that new Gen 5 Glock. Like I said, if you're listening to this the week of the 28th, come on out. If you're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, come on out to On Target. And I'll be out there a couple of days this week with the Gen 5s. You guys can get some hands-on with it. And maybe by then they'll have them in and you can go ahead and buy it. Because after you shoot it, you're going to want it. Guarantee it. Big thanks to all our sponsors again. Modern Spartan Systems. Check them out, modernspartansystems.com. Right On Optics, rightonusa.com. Frontier Tactical, frontiertactical.com. X Steel Targets. Check them out at xsteeltargets.com. And then, of course, Glock, us.glock.com. And for those who have participated in the Tactical Squirrel Box giveaway, obviously I'm not going to be giving that away this week. I'm going to give you guys another week or so. So go back to our previous episode 213, with Jeremy Smith of the Smith & Bradley Watches interview, and listen to what you have to do to win. I'll just tell you, you got to go to their Instagram page and you got to find the post of me. It's not got my face. It's just me holding up the watch, and there's like two pictures in a picture with the watch. You leave your comments there, and you got to go listen to the previous episode to find out what comments you're supposed to leave. And I'll be giving away a Tactical Squirrel July box, which has in it, it's the premium box. You get a box of the T&Q ammunition, your choice of caliber on the box of ammunition, Fat Ash soap, it's an unscented bar of soap. You get the Hiding Hilda self-defense keychain, which is pretty interesting. It's the Streetwise My Kitty self-defense keychain. Is made of unbreakable, lightweight ABS plastic. This plastic is as strong as metal. It is very easy to carry. You can attach it to your keys and it will fit right in your pocket or purse. Your fingers loop through the eye holes so that the tips of the ears can be used to defend yourself against an attacker. Covered under 1-year warranty, made in USA. You're also going to get a Tough One gun grip cover, trigger safe, safety devices for your AR trigger group. Reaper Outdoors, you're going to get some of their wicked hot sauce. You're going to get a Key Smart key pocket organizer. You're also going to get a Live Fire Gear survival kit, which is a fire starting kit. Pretty cool. And then you're going to get some AccuLube from the gun cleaners. So all that in July's premium box, and one of you lucky leadheads is going to get that. So go back to our previous episode and find out the post that you got to leave over on Smith and Bradley's Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, too damn bad. Borrow somebody's Instagram account that you know. If you don't want to start one, use their account and go do that. But you need to like their Instagram page and then find that post and leave your comments. So that does it for another episode of the Talking Lead Show. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and all the support that you give us is greatly appreciated. If you would, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever it is, and leave us some feedback, rate us. That helps us move up in the rankings in our category of podcasting, which is outdoor podcast. So the more feedback and ratings that you guys leave us, the better. So please do that. And oh, by the way, from this point forward, I'm going to be looking and see who's leaving us some feedback and comments and ratings. And the next Tactical Squirrel box that I give away, I'm going to go through randomly of all the people who have left feedback and pick one of you guys to win that next Tactical Squirrel Premium box. And you never know, I may just go through and pick random to give some other stuff away too. So be on your guard and participate, Leadheads. And a quick update on our logo competition, the Leadhead logo competition with 1776 United. We're still waiting to get those final drafts. I made a couple of more changes, so it's my fault. But I want to get those looking just really good, and they're all three awesome logos. So once we get those posted, we're going to do a little survey voting thing, and you guys are going to vote for the winner. And then, of course, between those three, one of those is going to win the prize packet of a T-shirt with that logo, a patch with that logo, a classic Talking Lead logo T-shirt, and a $100 gift card to 1776 United. So that's coming up. Sorry for the delay, but again, that's my fault. But just hang tight. It's going to be well worth the wait. And until next week, Leadheads, as always, keep your loved ones close and your firearms closer.
Mickey, Mike, check.
Mickey.